Did you know that in the States there are drive-through liquor stores? Actually, the US brings drive-throughs to a different level. Of course, there are drive-through fast food restaurants, drive-through cafes, drive-through banks, drive-through dry cleaners, drive-through pharmacies, smoothie shops, ice cream parlors, drive-through florists, oil changes. Okay, well, that one makes total sense. Drive-through pharmacies, drive-through weddings, drive-through cannabis dispensaries, drive-through funerals. Look it up if you don't believe me. Frankly, the US is obsessed with efficiency. Time is money. Spending more money to save more time. When I left the States, my YouTube feed was filled with videos about productivity hacks and workflow automation. Focusing on how to optimize every aspect of my life just made sense. Get the maximum output for minimal input. It wasn't just about work, though. Free time had to be optimized. The rare vacation came with a must-see list. Hobbies, how can they be monetized? Why would I do anything without having an end goal? What's the point otherwise? Is it like this because we're naturally productive, or is it like this because of overwork? The pressure comes from necessity, a necessity of the system. How can that be when the same system that houses healthcare is so convoluted? It requires endless phone calls and mountains of paperwork just to receive care. How can it be the system when the system allows for challenging commutes to work? The roads, the public transportation infrastructure, they're poor. I mean, that is if it exists at all. Americans value efficiency while living in a system that is wholly inefficient. Everything from drive-throughs to meal kits to meal delivery exists to maximize efficiency. Time is treated as a commodity. Lots of people are willing to pay extra for anything that saves them time. Many people assume that Americans are just lazy with a love for convenience. Well, the illusion of convenience, making time within an already busy schedule, making time, outsourcing everyday tasks, cooking, grocery shopping, walking the dog, meeting people. Making time is the side effect of falling in love with hustle. Stories of self-made wealth show that a happy ending is possible. All it takes is perseverance and grit. Convenience is a necessary tool for earning success, a success that is deeply valued. Self-checkouts, food delivery, online shopping, remote work, they all reduce the number of everyday interactions that can help build community. Aspects of life that once required face-to-face engagement, they've been replaced. They've been replaced by impersonal transactions. We've eroded casual social connections that create a sense of belonging, finding belonging in social media algorithms. Now we fall into a well of an echo chamber. It's not that Americans don't want community. They absolutely do. A lot of people feel lonely. They want deeper connections, but convenience-based systems make building connections really hard. The structure of modern American life encourages self-sufficiency over interdependence. Community building now requires an intentional effort, whereas it should be a natural byproduct of daily life. Americans' love of convenience streamlines life at the cost of organic human connection. There's little friction with regard to needing other people. So community becomes optional and it fades, but people still want to belong and they go online to get that sense of belonging. What if I told you that convenience culture is tied to wealth inequality, that access to time-saving services are not evenly distributed? The wealthiest use convenience to maximize time. The poor make it convenient for them. Convenience, in turn, it becomes a luxury that enforces economic divides. The working class trades their time for survival. They are the backbone to these convenience-driven industries. They get low wages, unstable hours, and minimal benefits. Conveniences for them, they carry a tax. Fast food taxes their health. Payday loans taxes their possibility of upward mobility. No matter how hard they work, they just don't have time to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. They are busy waiting in line. They are busy doing unpaid domestic labor. They are busy doing the tasks that they can't afford to outsource. There is little to no time to network. They miss job opportunities due to their inflexible schedules. They have limited capacity to pursue education or even side hustles. Convenience is not accessible to everybody. Convenience is a privilege. Often the poor live in food deserts. They can travel to other areas to buy food that are whole, but It eats at the limited time that they do have. They can order grocery delivery and pay a higher delivery fee because the driver has to travel farther. Or they can eat fast food, which they pay for with their health. The American convenience economy relies on the illusion of effortlessness. It makes it easy to forget that someone is working long hours for low wages to make these services instant. Many workers who provide these services can't afford the very conveniences they offer. It's a cycle where they enable wealthier people's time savings while struggling to keep up themselves. Convenience isn't just about efficiency, it's a tool that deepens wealth inequality. Those at the top use it to get ahead, while those at the bottom provide it at a cost of their own time and their financial stability. It's a society where convenience doesn't make life easier for everyone. It's only for those who can afford it. Services don't just save time for the wealthy, they extract data, your data that enriches inequality. The users generate valuable behavioral data, which companies use to monetize. They make these hyper refined, personalized services for those who can pay. Meanwhile, you have lower income users who are excluded from the feedback loop. Algorithm-driven grocery delivery apps learn to stock quality products in affluent neighborhoods, whereas lower income areas get the cheaper, low-quality products, reinforcing health and economic divides. Convenience culture isn't neutral. It's engineered to amplify inequality. It's marketed as a universal luxury, but its structure ensures that the rich get richer. The poor end up paying in time, health, and money for the illusion of accessibility. The U.S. convenience culture is making wealth inequality worse by reinforcing a system where time-saving services benefit the rich while exploiting the poor, at the same time creating a new underclass of low-paid gig workers. The wealthy buy time. The working class sells it. Automation and outsourcing eliminate stable jobs. The convenience tax disproportionately affects low-income people. Instead of creating freedom, convenience often locks people into financial dependence on gig work, side hustles, and predatory services. Convenience doesn't benefit everyone equally. It widens the gap between the rich and the poor. The wealthy, they use convenience to get ahead, while the poor are forced into time-consuming, low-wage labor to make it possible. The structure of convenience businesses extracts wealth from low-income people, all while concentrating profits at the very top. It isn't just making wealth inequality worse, it's also eroding social connections and workers' rights. Before, jobs in grocery stores and retail and customer service were stable, full-time careers with benefits. Today, lots of these jobs have been replaced by gig work with no protections. The more Americans embrace convenience, the less collective bargaining power workers have. This makes it harder to demand fair wages. Many gig workers aren't legally classified as employees. They don't get benefits, paid sick leave, or a minimum wage, but they provide these services that make modern convenience possible. U.S. convenience culture isn't just about saving time, it's about who benefits from that saved time. Right now, it's accelerating wealth inequality. It's shifting stable jobs into low-wage gig work. It's trapping low-income people in expensive convenience taxes. It's concentrating wealth at the top while forcing the working class to trade more time for less money. The more Americans prioritize convenience, the harder it becomes for lower-income workers to escape economic instability. While systemic change is necessary, individual choices can still make a difference. Whether you're a consumer, a worker, or a business owner, there are ways to push back against these structures. Instead of defaulting to Amazon or big chains, shop at small businesses that pay fair wages and invest in their communities. Use worker-owned co-ops where profits go directly to employees rather than corporate shareholders. Use food delivery and rideshare apps less frequently, or choose services that offer better worker protections. When possible, buy directly from businesses. If you do use convenience services, advocate for businesses that offer living wages. Consider funding community projects. If you're in a position of privilege, pass on financial knowledge to those who need it. While individual actions won't fix systemic inequality overnight, they can push back against exploitative convenience culture and create more economic balance by making conscious choices about where we spend and how we work and what policies we support. We can help build an economy that benefits everyone, not just the wealthy. Also, can we agree that it's time to stop talking about productivity so much? Folks are productive, very, very productive. Let's normalize talking about the Gini coefficient, the wealth gap. Look it up online and you will see how that changed for the US once Reagan came in, as well as how it accelerated after COVID. The higher the number, the worse off we all are. I mean, that is unless you're the ultra rich. As always, please share your thoughts in the comments and keep it cordial. Watch this if you're interested in life as an American in Spain, and then watch this because it just makes sense. Okay, bye.